Hi, I cannot listen to you.
Okay.
Now I'm listening to you.
Well, I'm gonna do the introduction again. I'm gonna for those who weren't able to hear my introduction earlier. My name is Carlo from Video Gaga and Nomads Media. We are a podcast and magazine for travel, business, and lifestyle. And we're very excited to continue this conversation on discovering Spain. So we have here Ricardo Blanco, a Madrid native from Spain, an author and journalist who's written a very interesting book about, I would say, hidden secrets or the hidden secrets of Madrid. So yeah, we're gonna talk about it tonight, and I hope you guys will like it. For especially for those who plan on traveling around Spain, specifically in Madrid, and also for those who are already here in Madrid who would like to discover something new about the city. Right, Ricardo?
Hello, hello everybody.
So, Ricardo, tell us more about your book, Esto también es Madrid, or This is Madrid too.
Well, the book is about 100 different places, 100 almost secret places in the city. They are not in the city centers, but in the outskirts of the city. So it is written for tourists, but also for locals, because during when I have been writing the book, I've discovered that a lot of people living here in Madrid don't know a lot of history, a lot of interesting places that we have in other districts, because the city of Madrid had 21 districts, and there are a lot of things to discover. So this is the other part of Madrid.
Very interesting. And so it's 101 places in Madrid, right?
That's it.
Now, I couldn't agree more because, of course, when you go online and you Google Madrid, places to visit in Madrid, it's already there, right? It's already available out there. It's easy to get to. And the purpose of your book is definitely to, um, I would say, to put a spotlight on the other destinations, right? Outside the center of Madrid, outside the usual places.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a way to discover the city doing different things. For instance, nobody, when visiting Madrid, nobody would go to some places like, for instance, the cover of the book here in Carabanchel. But I think you want to discover how the real people live here. You have to go to these neighborhoods and you could see the real life. I love the city center of Madrid. This is a beautiful city with a lot of spotlights like the Prado Museum, Plaza Mayor, Puerta del Sol, the Royal Palace. They are grateful, but I think, or at least when I'm visiting other cities and I have more than 3-4 days, I like also to discover this part of the city because if not, you only have one part of the city, but there are more life outside the city center.
Now, how did you come up with the idea for This is Madrid too, for the
Yeah,
book?
it was during the lockdown, during the pandemics in Spain, in Madrid. The lockdown was really strict. We couldn't go out of our homes, and then after 2 months, we were permitted to go out to walk through our neighborhood. So we can walk. At first, I think it was only 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers. It was uh, it was really crazy. So I started to visit at first my neighborhood, Vicálvaro, and then the other neighborhoods which were close to mine. I started to look for the stories of these places like Vallecas, Carabanchel, Barajas, and I discovered Madrid is the city center, but it also has 13 old villages that were incorporated into the city in the 1950s. So
Wow.
the city, the surface of the city were multiplied by 10. So we have like 13 little villages with the old square, the old church, the old market. For me, it was really, really interesting because it's my city, and I knew some of them, but I discovered a lot of really interesting places that I've never imagined it was in here in my city.
Yeah, that's really a good idea. I mean, I think for a lot of international cities, right, there's really a need to talk about areas that are unpopular, unnoticed,
Mhm.
not just for tourists or travelers, but also for the locals, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Also, when I was writing the book, I contacted some locals. Um, there are people who are really interested in its neighborhood, but don't know the neighborhood that is close to them. So also the idea of the book was to make the idea that all the city, not only your neighborhood or the city center, has a lot to offer to you.
Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. Now let's talk about some of those places. In fact, while you talk about these places, I'm gonna go ahead and get my book as well. But yeah, this for locals and travelers who would love to explore Madrid, based on your 100 hidden spots or hidden secrets here in Madrid.
Mhm.
Um, let's talk about some of your favorites, some of the neighborhoods featured, or some of the neighborhoods you write about in your book.
Yeah, as I said at the beginning, Madrid has 21 districts. So in the book, I'm writing about 17 districts. The four districts that are in the city centers, Centro, Chamberí, Salamanca, and Retiro. I didn't write about them, but there are 17 districts. So, well, my favorite is is really difficult, but for instance, as I said in the cover of the book, Carabanchel is one of my favorites because it has a lot to offer, and they are connected, really connected, really linked to the directly linked to the history of Spain. So the queen and the kings of Spain were there, they have their palaces. Um, so when you visit this place, you say, "Wow, why I haven't come here before?" And also, Carabanchel is a trendy district nowadays because a lot of art galleries, a lot of new restaurants have opened, a lot of new businesses have opened there. And a lot of people now is going from city center is they are crossing the river, the river Manzanares,
Mm-hmm.
that goes through the city. You go to the other part of the river. Yeah, that's it. That's the ancient, the oldest building in the city, and it's not in city center. It is in
Mm-hmm.
Carabanchel. It is from the
Wow.
yeah, it is from the 13th century.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a jewel that we have here, and it is in Carabanchel. Another favorite districts, for instance, Barajas. Barajas is really known because the airport is in Barajas, but all of my friends, my family, they have never been in the Barajas village. Barajas village
Mm-hmm.
has an old town, the Plaza Mayor, that is 1 year older than the Plaza Mayor of Madrid.
Oh,
So
wow.
this is a lot of points that you are discovering when visiting these places. Um, they have also a little church that is surrounded by two highways, motorways.
Mm-hmm.
So they have also a castle. The only castle in Madrid is in Barajas. A castle that is a little bit destroyed because it has suffered a lot of wars, a lot of incidents. That's it. The castle of Alameda, Castillo de Alameda. And when I talk to people who live in Madrid, people who are from Madrid, and I say, we have a castle, they don't know. So
Wow, wow. So
Paradise has
interesting.
a lot to offer. And also, it's not only to see places; it's only to enjoy the neighborhood because you can go there and spend there 1 day. In the morning, you can visit something. You can have lunch there and taste local restaurants, really interesting local restaurants with interesting proposals of food, and then you can also visit some spots in the evening. So you can enjoy 1 day for one of these districts.
Yeah, wow, amazing. Because of course, especially for those who have been to Madrid or who are living here, we
Mhm.
already know Gran Via, we already know
Yeah.
I would say the usual destinations that are equally amazing.
Mhm.
But this is really a good idea. It's a good guide to explore other things like the areas you've said, Barajas, Carabanchel. I have my
Uh-huh.
personal favorites
Which
that you talk about in your book. I'm gonna show them. So here they've numbered some of the places. So 101
uh,
destinations to visit in
brilliant.
Madrid. I'm gonna show them the list here. Yeah, see? So per basically, right, you have the village or the neighborhood, and you have the different spots, the landmarks and the areas.
Yeah. You can tick when you visit it.
Yeah, you can tick the box once you visited a place. So my personal favorites would have to be, well, I haven't visited everything, so my goal is to actually visit all the 100 places in your book. 100 Hidden Secrets of Madrid would have to be number one, of course. I really love the area of La Latina or Latina.
Yeah.
So you've brought me there to Puerto del Angel. In fact, I'm gonna show our audience, our viewers, the video. Actually, the video where our episode on our show Home Away from Home, where we talk about Latina, right, or Puerto del Angel. So for instance, yeah, it's here. So there, we in this episode, we have the teaser of the episode where we talk about Puerto del Angel, Madrid, on our show Home Away from Home. So we also have a TV show about travel and lifestyle
Yeah.
and life abroad. So yeah, so this is Puerto del Angel, where Ricardo here shows us around this beautiful neighborhood, Puerto del Angel. Next would have to be Tetuan. I really
Yeah.
love Tetuan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tetuan
That's
is an amazing area, full of culture, right? Very multicultural, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was founded by the Spanish army in the 19th century. The Spanish army who came from the African War. In the last part of the 19th century, Spain was in different wars in the north of Africa, in the nowadays Morocco. So a lot of people coming uh, from this place, they were established in this part of Tetuan, and they founded this city that is called in the same way that another city in Morocco. So it's really interesting, also because it was built all in the architecture style, which was trendy in that area. That is neomudéjar. That is a very very particular style in Madrid that is it's quite simple because it's brick and tiles. You know
Yeah.
the red or brown bricks and tiles. It's quite simple, but it's beautiful. And last year, 2024, the City Council of Madrid has protected more than 100 buildings in Tetuan,
Oh, wow.
which have been built in this style in the Almudéjar.
Okay, so I'm gonna write down some of our recommendations that are featured in your book. Some of our recommendations in Madrid, hidden spots.
Mm-hmm.
I want to call them hidden secrets because you rarely see them online in blogs. You will probably find them in very specific content creators, in the accounts of very specific content creators, but not in your usual guides. So we've mentioned Barajas, we've mentioned Puerto del Angel,
Mm-hmm.
and of course Tetuan,
Tetuan, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Carabanchel.
Uh-huh. That's it. Also, for instance, my neighborhood where I was when I lived when I was a child and also a young, it is Vicálvaro. It is located in the southeast of the city. It's quite far from city center,
Mhm.
but it's interesting because it has the unique museum in the city, which is dedicated to
Oh,
one neighborhood, the Vicálvaro Museum, the Museum of History
Vicálvaro.
of Vicálvaro. This museum has been organized um, and made by by an association of neighbors. Um, they work really hard to get a lot
Mhm.
of things That's it, Picalvaro. That's my neighborhood. Not the place where I live now. That's it. The old church. It's like a little village. It was a village until 1951. Since this year, it was incorporated to the city. We have some little squares, still some houses, beach
Beautiful.
houses. Yeah,
And I'd like to commend your photos, your photographs in this book. They're amazing and very, I would say, very realistic.
that is the museum. That's it. It has a lot of objects which has been found in the oldest, in the ancient homes of people who lived in Vicálvaro, and they donate all these things to the association. The association has created a museum. It's a special museum because it's not like museums we have in Madrid, like Prado, Thyssen, is very, very little. But I strongly recommend to visit it if you go to Vicálvaro. The people who are in charge of it is really, really nice. They will be really happy if you knock at the door and you say, "I want to visit the museum."
Yeah,
And it's really special. So these are one of the things that you can discover in the neighborhoods.
very interesting. We have one question here from Gold Coast Bloke. When
Mhm.
will you show Malaga, San Sebastian, Bilbao on your video podcast? Wow, that's a really good question. We don't have any plans yet, but definitely these are some of our favorite destinations. So we will take note of these destinations. We have some of our friends who are based there. So hopefully we get to visit them or invite them here onto the show, here on Nomads, or hopefully on our TV show, Home Away from Home. We also have our friends from the tourism and travel industry, travel sector in those destinations, like, of course, Malaga, Andalusia, San Sebastian in Euskadi or Basque Country, and as well as Bilbao. So hopefully. In fact, I would like to say hi to one of our friends, Arancha. She's one of my former colleagues who's based there, who's from Bilbao. So hopefully we get to interview her here on the show. I just remembered her being one of the first people I've met here in Spain who's originally from País Vasco or Basque Country and living here in Madrid. All right. So, yes, thank you, Gold Coast Bloke, for tuning in. And definitely, we will share, of course, this episode to the rest of our community. Again, you are watching Nomads Media. We are a community of professionals, of entrepreneurs, and dreamers. And yeah, we've created this community and this media or this channel, well, to share stories and insights on travel, business, and lifestyle. And yes, before we end this very interesting episode, and hopefully to our Spanish speakers out there, we will have another one. Hopefully, you get to tune in when we launch that. We will have a Spanish version of this episode. So watch out for that. Now, you've mentioned that you collaborate with some of the communities. How did you get in touch with them? Who are some of these communities or locals that you collaborated with to create this book, and how was the experience?
Yeah, I try to connect as much as possible with these local communities or local associations. In Madrid, traditionally, there have been a lot of, we call them asociaciones de vecinos, it's like neighbors associations, that were really strong to get a lot of services for the neighborhoods, education, health, or sport facilities, a lot of things that these neighborhoods that are always are always forgotten by the main city, but these associations work really hard to get these services. They also, it for me has been it has been really interesting to discover that they also work really hard to protect their history, to protect their buildings, to protect their heritage. So I've discovered a lot of things that I've never known. When I was surfing the internet, try
Mhm.
to get a lot of data, a lot of things to know more about these neighborhoods. It's not the same things that when you talk to a local, because
Mhm.
they also talk to you the history, but also the real history. They show you really, really hidden places or a hidden street, or they tell you about anecdotes. Um, and for me, it has been one of the best parts of
Mm.
writing the book. Is it has been to meet these people. A lot of them are elderly people, and for me it has also, it's really special because some of them are 70, 80, and they tell you a lot of interesting stories. There are ancient times that it's really, really different to our times. So it has been the best part. I also contacted young people, but the most of them were elderly people.
Mm.
And as I say, these communities were really hot in Barajas, in Carabanchel, in Tetuán, in Vicálvaro, in Vallecas, in El Pardo, Aravaca. I've contacted all of them. We've met. We have, as I told you before, you can spend one day or even more to discover these neighborhoods, and I really loved this contact.
Yeah. I love what you did here because it's more than just writing a book. It's involving the community, the local communities. We're not just talking about one, you're talking about elderly people, the veterans or experts in those communities in different parts of of Madrid. And this is something actually locals from other cities can do as well, right?
Yeah.
You got the elderly and the young people involved in contributing their stories about their neighborhood, about their
Mhm.
city, right? And I love also the activities you do for the book because um, you involve them as well. They share their stories in the book events or book reading events. So yeah, very exciting, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of these projects as well because um, basically this is the kind of project that evolved right from writing a book, producing a book, to community involvement.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. I was really moved, the days when
Mm.
I met. It was mostly the weekends. During the week, I was writing the book, and during the weekends, I visited the places and with these local communities or local neighbors. So at the end of the day, when I when I was back home, with all the things I've been told and all the things I discovered, I was really full of emotions because I
Yeah,
discovered um, the other side of the city. So for me personally, not professionally, but personally, it has also been a special thing in writing this book.
amazing. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing um, your story and the stories of the locals of Madrid, the locals of the different barrios or neighborhoods in Madrid. And of course, for wow, recommending over 100 hidden secrets or hidden spots that we should discover in Madrid and, of course, in Spain. Um, of course, the book is in Spanish, but so this is very useful for Spanish speakers. But what about those who are studying Spanish, for instance? Is this something useful for them as well?
Yeah, the words I've used are really, really simple words. There are not technical words because I want that everybody understand the history of our city, the history of the place I'm talking about. So it's really easy to understand. There are some points when I talk about architecture or something about history, but the most of the books are really easy work. If you
Yeah.
have a medium level of Spanish, I think it's easy to understand or also to improve your level of Spanish. Why not?
Yes. To Spanish speakers out there, there's a great travel guide, not your ordinary travel guide, and Spanish culture lovers as well. And of course, expats, basically foreigners who are living here in Spain. So this is definitely a useful read to discovering Madrid. Well,
Thank
thank you, Ricardo.
thank you.
Now, how do they find your book?
You can find it in small bookshops here in Madrid, also in big store departments, Corte Inglés, FNAC, but also in the internet. If you type the name of the book, Esto también es Madrid, you find easily. It can be sent to all places of Spain, not to other countries. But if you are really, really interested, if you live outside Spain, you contact me in social networks. And last week I sent one book to Italy to one speaking
Oh.
Spanish speaking person who contacted me, and I sent the book.
Okay, I'm gonna share your Instagram here so you can contact the author of the book, as well as a link to your online store. So,
Thank you.
La Librería
Yeah, that's it. La Librería is the name of the book
of the
company.
publisher. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, very exciting. Well, all the best, and looking forward to more collaborations, of course, with you, Ricardo. You've been a great supporter also of Video Gaga and Nomads, and of course, looking forward to our next episodes. I'm inviting everyone to watch out for the full episode of Puerta del Ángel, Madrid. That's one of our favorite neighborhoods here in Madrid. So watch out for that this week, the full episode on our website, nomadsgaga.com, and on our social media accounts. And very soon, in coming soon, season two of our show Home Away from Home, we are featuring another destination here in Madrid. Thank you again, Ricardo, and to everyone who joined us and who are watching this video. See you again and enjoy.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.